Re-win ban.
Alright, here we go. First ban is Lee Sin, it looks like.
So yeah, that's a pretty basic ban. Lee Sin is really easy to count. Like, he's a strong first pick because there's not much counter. Shen, similar thing. Not much in the way of a counter pick for him.
Right, Shen is strong. Well, Shen does get countered by some champions, but just because of how strong he is and because of his map threat, the fact that you can have a global teleport basically anywhere a champion is, you've got to ban him. He's just too strong. We see the Irelia ban right away, and I'm not surprised with that. Pawn Gypsy probably plays one of the strongest Irelias I have seen. He went 7-1 last game, so that's not necessarily a bad ban.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were watching the last game and decided to ban Alistar right after this.
Well, we shall see. I mean, the thing with banning based on people is that you're going to see, yeah, we see the Urgot ban right away, is that you're going to leave champions also open, like maybe Rammus or something of that nature, that are also very strong ganking champions. But the Urgot, again, I'm surprised we see another Urgot.
Yeah, it looks like they just have standard bans for this tournament. Like, here are the team columns we want to run, here are the champions that do really well against them. So we're just going to ban them out. And the Rammus ban, yep, they don't want to leave Rammus open. Looks like they're... And so it looks like they're going to be able to pick up Alistar unless... What was the other team's name again? Yeah, Mystic, unless Mystic is able to pick up Alistar for themselves.
Well, Mystic does have the first pick, and last time we saw just the usual pick up Janna as their first pick. We see a Shaco ban come out right away, so we will see the all-coveted first pick come out here pretty soon, and I have to assume it'll probably be the support.
Yep. Oh, there's Janna.
Janna has just been
strong.
Yeah, she's been first picked. Obviously, if you watched any of the IEM Hanover, you saw that Janna was either first picked or banned almost every game. I mean, Janna is just that strong with how good of a support she is. So I'm not surprised that we see a first pick with her right away.
Yeah, people are having a lot of fun with her. She's she's an amazing duelist. Her when it's 2v2 bot lane, she can duel really well. She can her CC is undeniable. It's wonderful. It's just everything about her is wonderful. She's great for an offensive lane. She's great for a defensive lane. Great, strong first pick.
Absolutely, and we see Chris picking up possibly Nocturne right away. I don't know if he's going to pick it. Like you said, we got to be a little bit careful when we start talking about champions before they've actually been locked in because we get trolled pretty hard. But it looks like possibly a Nocturne and Tristana as the first pick.
Oh my gosh, these two picks make me so happy. These are two champions that are very strong. They don't necessarily see very much anymore. Nocturne used to be really popular, then they hit some of his numbers, and he hasn't been played much anymore, but he's still incredibly strong, and I can see him doing really well ganking bot lane, because if he uses his shield, he can block Janna's ultimate.
Right. Not only can he block her ultimate, he can block the tornado, the cyclone. He can also block the slow one. So yeah, that's a strong pick. Nocturne is a strong pick. Interesting to see the insta-lock Warwick. I wonder if we're going to see Warwick go top or if we're going to see Warwick in the jungle in Vayne right away. I don't know how I feel about a Warwick against a Nocturne. Nocturne is Nocturne can be very strong counter jungling. He is, with his AoE and how fast he clears, he can be a strong counter jungler, and Warwick, while he's safe in the jungle, because he's single target, he's not necessarily that good when it comes to counter jungling. He has a very safe jungle until he goes and ganks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to send him top and just do a trade there, because Warwick, they did buff his jungle recently. They made it so his passive does, or something about his, I think it's his passive does damage now on top of sealing life. So look at that. There's Nautilus. Nautilus is...
Wow.
He's been really favored by all the Rage Gaming teams because they love his CC and his jungling potential. Though that would mean that either Nautilus or Nocturne is going top.
Interesting, very interesting pick. Now, Nocturne is a strong top laner. You don't see him that often, but very popular top gamers like Hotshot, GG, Dyrus, and people like that. They have said that Nocturne is a very underrated top champion, and with his ultimate, with his spell shield, and with his fear, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so we have our bot lane. This is going to be one of the most intense bot lanes. We have Janna and Vayne against Leona and Tristana. This is going to be so aggressive.
I don't know what to take of that. I mean, that is going to be both very aggressive. And the Ari pick, Ari also very, very strong. You know, she has her charm and does a lot of damage. Man, this is
How much damage?
tons of damage, lots and lots of damage. It'll be interesting to see what Lupinus picks for his mid against Ari in response. I wonder if he's going to go Vagar again, especially with Leprechaun. It was very, very fitting that he played the Leprechaun Vagar with the being St. Patrick's Day, and possibly a Mordekaiser pick. Mordekaiser very strong. Mordekaiser actually saw a lot of play when it came to Hanover, specifically when it came to Team Dignitas. Skara played a lot of them, and maybe a Xerath instead. I would be surprised. I would see Mordekaiser being a little bit better against Ari, just because Ari is so mobile. Even if Xerath, is setting up as far away as possible, she's really mobile and can get there pretty fast wherever he's locked himself into.
Yeah, definitely. Even so, though, Xerath, no matter the range, he's going to be able to lay down a lot of damage.
Absolutely.
Xerath, he's really strong. That's the funny thing, is once he was released, everyone just agreed he was a very strong mage, but no one really said he came out remarkably balanced, and that's still the way he is. Like, everyone says he's really strong, but he just doesn't get that much play. And it's going to be Xerath.
Wow, I'm surprised by the Xerath call. However, you look at once again, Team Just the Usual, who's on the purple side, right-hand side here, a lot of CC. You've got Nautilus, you've got the stun from Xerath, you've got Leona, also the fear from Nocturne. When it comes to the CC from Team Mystic, sorry about that, Team Mystic, they also have a lot as well, and we're seeing a lot of CC-specific champions being picked. You've got these, the ultimate from Warwick, you've got the charm from Ari, you've got Janna. Man, this is going to be this is going to be an exciting and fast game, and it looks like Warwick will be the jungle. I was a little bit surprised. I thought maybe they'd trade Olaf over to jungle, but it will be Warwick in the jungle. And actually, right now, nobody has been deemed a jungler yet for Team Just the Usual. None of them have Smite.
Yeah, I guess they're still deciding whether Nocturne or Nautilus is going to go in the jungle.
Well, I better pick
What's going
quickly.
to happen? What?
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
Nocturne.
so Nocturne decide jungle. So it's going to be a Nautilus top. Nautilus versus Olaf. I don't know what to say about these team comps, except they are remarkably similar to each other. Ari and Xerath both scaled decently well into mid-game, fall off late game. That lane could go either way, really. I could see a good Xerath really being able to harass Ari out and beat her down. Tristana and Vayne are considered the hardest carries in the game, but they both have aggressive lane compositions with that can also serve defensive purposes with Leona and Janna. Top lane, you have two people that can harass each other really well, but still lifesteal that back. These teams, and then of course, I'm sorry, that's Nautilus. So it's going to be Nautilus against Olaf. I think I'm going to have to give that one to Olaf. But in the jungle, I mean, I can see both of them. Both of them can stay pretty healthy. Of course, Nocturne with his AOE lifesteal, Warwick with, of course, being the most sustaining jungler in the game. These team compositions are remarkably similar.
I would agree, and I would disagree with the top. I think that there's a lot of similar ideas behind both team comps. However, I think with top lane, Nautilus versus Olaf, Nautilus, when it comes to Pawn Gypsy, we've seen enough of Team Just the Usual to know that Pawn Gypsy plays champions that are very tanky DPS. Now, Nautilus is tanky DPS, but he's slow. He is slow. And Pawn Gypsy likes to play people that are Aurelia. We've seen him play Wukong. We've seen him play really kind of mobile, very active champion. So I'm interested to see on how that plays out, especially with the slow from Olaf's axe. He's going to have the true damage that he's going to be able to nail down there. I'm with you. I don't know if I agree with the Nautilus pick. I think Nautilus is a strong champion. I don't think he's going to be strong top lane. I'm hoping that I'm proved wrong. I'm hoping that I'm proved way wrong, and that Olaf just not just because I like Nautilus. I think Nautilus is a cool champion. I really like his skill set and everything like that, but I don't know if it's a strong pick versus Olaf, and I think that might be the lane to watch. Last time it was mid, it was the Vagar versus the Swain to kind of watch. I think top lane is going to be the lane to watch this time around.
I think it's going to be every lane, because just all of them could go either way, but they're all really aggressive lanes. And I'd actually say top lane might be more boring because Olaf is just going to harass with his E. Nautilus is just going to slow him whenever he tries to get too close. And so I don't think much is actually going to happen up there unless Olaf really goes for first couple level aggression. What we're really going to see is Tristana and Leona jumping onto Janna and Vayne, or vice versa. So it could go either way. These teams are, like, all these lanes are going to be interesting. And of course, Ahri versus Xerath. Is Xerath going to be able to harass Ahri out before Ahri can jump in? I don't know.
No, I know it's going to be, it's that bottom lane too. I'm going to have to agree with you. I guess I will retract what I previously said. Really, it's going to be, I think just watching the top lane is going to be very interesting. But man, that bottom lane too. So both very, very aggressive lanes. It'll be interesting to see how they work out, and it's going to be a great. I don't know who I would give it to team comp wise. I want to give it to Just the Usual, but I think actually team comp wise, I like Team Mystic's team comp. I like the way they have right now. Warwick out of the jungle, his ultimate is so strong. When you have that ultimate, and then you also have the true damage from Olaf, you've got the true damage from Vayne, by the way, from her silver bolts. That's a lot of damage that's going to be done, just true damage. It's hard to build and itemize to that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. 2 champions with true damage. What I'm more looking at is how in your face Mystic is. Ahri getting right up in there. Warwick ulting in, right, like, just clawing your face off. Vayne is actually one of the ranged carries that enjoys being a little bit closer. Olaf does his thing and gets all Viking up in your grill. On the other side, we have Just the Usual with Xerath, who is your trademark siege tower long range man. We have Tristana, who is known for having the longest range in the game. And to keep them safe, we have Nautilus, who can keep someone really safe. We have Leona, who's probably going to be sticking next to Tristana for a lot of the time. And we have Nocturne, who's going to be able to lay down damage on anyone that wants to get too close. So I think what it's really going to come down to is, can Just the Usual engage with Nautilus and Nocturne up front?
So we're taking a look at the jungle starts here. It looks like we saw this last time. Right now, Just the Usual going up right towards that top lane tri-brush. And it looks like they're actually going to invade on the blue. You see pings starting to go off kind of in all of the areas for Team Mystic right now. And they don't know, actually, that they have no idea that Just the Usual is sitting at their blue. And it looks like Warwick is going to be going for a quick red buff. I'm not entirely sure. It looks... Ooh, they're making their way back around, and man, both teams are going to barely miss each other, and it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, neither team has clairvoyance right now. You see that they just want that lane strength, which is really where this lane is going to be decided, I think. Whichever team can win lane harder is probably going to be able to snowball this into victory.
Absolutely. So it looks like both teams are going to start off at their blue respectively. Warwick picking up the Wolves, also Nocturne picking up the Wolves, making their way over to the blue. Nautilus will start making his way up top. I'm sure Olaf will be up there as well. Now the question is, yeah, they're going to use Smite up on the blue buff, so there probably won't be really much of a jungle invasion on them. Nocturne, on the other hand, has not used Smite yet. And this is something that I'm not too surprised at. We're going to see a quick... he's not going to go down towards Warwick's jungle. That I'm a little bit surprised about. I figured Nocturne would make his way down and try to steal the red buff, but it looks like he's not. He's going to go back up into his own jungle.
Leona has decided to pick up Zenith Blade first. And let's see, does she have what I suspect she has? She has... where is it? Armor penetration. No, she didn't pick up armor penetration. That's interesting. Usually you see that early on. So we see Xerath is laying down some good harass into Ahri as well.
Which isn't surprising. His long range, he's able to do a good amount. And there's a quick Ragnarok. I believe it's Reckless Swing.
No, it's Reckless Swing. Ragnarok is his ultimate.
I just like saying Ragnarok. That's just a fun word to say. We see one of those, and really the chunks that come down onto Nautilus from that is just so much. But you do see his quick shield go up. Now that's the thing about Nautilus, is his shield is very strong. It's able to do a good amount of damage when it comes to the damage over time. But you have to have the shield up in order for it to work. And look at that aggression onto Nautilus from Olaf. That's a lot of damage being taken right away.
We see Orb of Deception by Ahri isn't really doing that much damage yet. Wow, look at the harass bot lane, though. Like, this is really harass war right now. Once we hit level 4, we're going to see someone jumping on someone else, but looks like for now, Tristana is doing a great job just harassing this Vayne out, which is sort of odd because, oh my gosh, Janna has not gotten a level in shield yet. Now, there she goes. Now she finally gets it. But she's not been able to keep Vayne healthy at all. She's sitting at 200 health. Tristana's at full. She's only used a little bit of mana.
Right.
Leona is sort of in a similar position. So Tristana and Leona are looking really good for this lane right now.
Yeah, and the reason that Janna didn't grab that right away is just because of, oh, and there goes some damage onto Nautilus, is because you wanted that level 1 just in case. They were kind of expecting a level 1 fight. It's the same reason Ari grabbed her charm right away instead of the orb. And just to be careful. Now, Nautilus does have to be a little bit careful. Warwick is making his way up top. He does have the red buff. While he doesn't have any form of CC, he is able to slow him with the red buff. And there it goes. Warwick is starting to make his way in. There was the slow from Olaf, but the anchor does come out, and it looks like he's going to get away from there scotch-free. Nocturne is also in the area, and so nothing really coming out of that.
I think the term is scot-free.
Scot-free? What did I say?
Scotch-free.
Well, they were free. They were
So,
not
like,
drinking at all. They were free
well,
as scotch.
It is St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, well, they weren't celebrating in a drunken fashion. They're Shamrock Shakes. They had a lot of Shamrock Shakes.
So right now, Ari, she obviously is only level 5 right now, and since it's pre-level 6, neither of them have their ultimate yet. Xerath is doing a really good job of harassing out Ari. Of course, his Q outranging Ari's Q. Looks like we have Nocturne coming in for a gank as well. He does have red buff.
Yeah, Nocturne in the vicinity. Ari is at about a little over half health right now. He's starting to make his way in. It's probably just going to be to scare her off. She's not going to use her flash or anything. We do see Nautilus making his way back up top. I'm kind of curious as to what he's going to buy for his first item. He did get a ruby crystal right away out of the bat, and so he's going to have that extra health, which, of course, he scales on health with his shield. He does more damage and also has his shield up longer with the more health he has. So I'm not surprised by that.
So look at the CS between Vayne and Tristana. Tristana's at 36.
Wow.
Vayne is at 16. That is massive for this early in the game.
Yeah, that is a really strong start for Tristana. That's about a champion kill right there. Don't forget, I think it's 15 CS, 12 or 15 CS equals about a champion kill early on in the game. And so that CS is a significant amount. Now the question,
35, yeah.
Yeah, the question is now whether she's going to be able to hold it or not. One thing we have seen is Tristana has been very aggressive. They've had that lane pushed up pretty far so far this game, and we haven't seen Warwick start to make his way down. Warwick is at level 4 right now.
Holy cow, look at mid lane! Arya's jumped on Xerath with her ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. Ignite is on Xerath right now. Oh, he's at 35 health. He's going to be fine. That was some really strong aggression. Weakness, though, was at just too much health. Ari didn't have the mana to throw all of her abilities. She thought she could get them. Doesn't surprise me at all that Ari hit 6 and immediately tried to go for that kill.
Yeah, and look at top lane right now. Pawn Gypsy in a good place. Lays the ultimate onto Olaf. Olaf getting hit. The Ignite is off on Nautilus, and the blood goes to Nautilus, who picks up the kill responding, and just the usual are going to pick up 2 kills right away. So strong, and actually Warwick in a bad position right now as well. The spell shield up from Nocturne. He is going to not even try to fight this. I think right now it's a bad idea to fight it until Xerath comes back around. Xerath is back, and Warwick could be in a bad position if he hangs around there. But man, what a great... I was proved wrong. I was proved completely wrong. I thought Olaf was going to dominate that top lane. Nautilus, though, with the strong hit, and was able to take him down. That's going to be big for the top lane.
Nautilus just barely won that fight. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Leona has jumped onto Janna right now. Janna taking quite a bit of damage, but now Vayne is responding by laying down damage onto Tristana. Looks like they're both going to back off, though. Looks like just the usual came out of that engagement ahead there.
Oh my goodness, mid lane right now. Xerath doing a lot of damage with his ultimate, also landing the stun down, and takes out about 3/4 of Ari's health. He's going to run over and pick up blue buff, but that's going to effectively make her be very, very cautious for the rest of this lane, especially this part before she goes back. So great heads up, great. I mean, he wasn't looking for the kill. Obviously wasn't looking for the kill, but doing a good job of harassing her.
Yeah, of course, Ari with that innate lifesteal, or spell vamp, excuse me. Innate spell vamp doing quite a bit to keep her in lane. Xerath doesn't have any of that, though. He just has his health potions. However, he does have a Catalyst the Protector now, while Ari only has 2 Doran's rings. So I think Xerath is actually in a better position right now. Has more lane sustain, even though Ari has her passive.
Very interesting ward placement from Miss You Forever. Putting a ward kind of in the brush over here instead of at the jungle entrance. I'm a little bit surprised. Usually you kind of put it at one jungle entrance or the other. I'm not sure if she's expecting a gank from Nocturne over on that edge, but I guess it's to kind of be careful of the Nocturne ultimate. So I guess not a terrible idea, but still just a little bit surprised. It kind of seems like a weird placement for a ward at this point in the game. See pings going off onto Janna right now. Warwick is in the area. They do know he is there. They have the ward in the tri-bush, so no funny business going to happen there. And so they're just going to stick back to their lanes.
Yeah, any aggression that's going to happen is going to have to come entirely from Leona and Tristana, or Janna and Vayne. It's just going to have to come from those two. Right now, we're seeing less aggression than I was expecting. Leona hasn't really done much in the way of engaging, I guess because they're afraid of Vayne. Her Silver Bolts, of course, are going to be doing a lot of damage. That tumble going to do a lot of damage. Damage.
Right. Well, speaking of damage, we might see some go down here on top onto Nocturne, or excuse me, Nocturne onto Olaf. There goes the ultimate from Nautilus onto Olaf. Olaf is in a bad position right now. There goes the chains. He has to lay down his ultimate so he doesn't get disabled. There goes the ultimate from Nocturne, and another kill for Just the Usual puts them up 3-0. And a great play by Nocturne, who waited just the right time. That's one thing that you can kind of, one of those, well, I can tell you a good Nocturne from a bad Nocturne. One thing you'll notice is Nocturnes wait to use their ultimate for a dash. Use it for a long-range dash, and that was just exactly what he did right there. Waited until the ultimate went off, waited for the flash, and then used his ultimate. Great play, and that is a big lead for Just the Usual 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Ari was almost going down there. Xerath pushing her out of lane. That amazing damage from Xerath. Xerath really throwing his weight around with that blue buff. Those cooldowns are so short right now. Arcano Pulse is on a 3.8 second cooldown right now.
That's just, I mean, you look at that, how much you're going to be taking off your health that short of time with the mark as well. It's almost 300 damage per hit, and I mean...
Oh wow, Tristana has jumped in bot lane on her own. The Ignite is up, and yes!
Wow!
That burst from Tristana is good. Wow, every lane is just going in Just the Usual's favor right now. That was so aggressive. Leona wasn't even there bot lane. Raging Kenny just knew exactly how much she could do. She jumped in with Rocket Jump, did that burst, auto attack, ulted, ignited, and that was just enough to take him down.
Bad place though right now for Tristana as Warwick is in the vicinity. Warwick does he have his ultimate? Yes, he does have his ultimate. Leona is also there, and so Tristana's not too afraid by it. Oh, and Leona trying to get in there. Ari in a bad place. Ari getting hit by the range from Xerath. Xerath basically saying, hope you weren't thinking about doing anything crazy like that, because we're here and we're not going to allow you to. However, he does not have his ultimate now. Janna is in the area. There goes the ultimate. Oh, Leona goes in. Her shield bursts off onto Janna. Janna is low on health. There goes the ultimate. Hits two of them. The rocket jump in from Raging Kenny on Tristana is able to take out Janna. Vayne now in a bad place. Xerath is going to pick up that kill. However, the ultimate onto Leona. The summoner heal is not enough. Another kill is picked up, though, for... Another kill is picked up for Just Usual, and it's going to be a 1-for-3 exchange plus the dragon, and that is going to be a giant...
well, they may turn it into a 1-for-4. Yeah, they're going for the dive on the Warwick. Warwick is going to get feared, and look, yep, Nocturne is going to be able to pick up that kill with that last attack. 1-for-4 plus dragon.
Oh, and up top, wasting his flash is Nautilus as he has to get out of the way of Olaf. And so, while we see a lot going on down bottom lane, they also pick up the turret, a huge pickup. Oh, and there's the ultimate onto Olaf! And Olaf is going to melt in the face of Nautilus, who was ignited. But man, every time they try to exchange right now, Nautilus is just coming out the better end of it. And right now, Nautilus is 2-0-1, and Olaf is 0-3-0. So just a great start for top lane, really right now. I would have to agree with the audience right now. GG is right. That was just a great start for Just the Usual. They have now taken an 8-kill lead, 9-1, and they also have almost a 7K gold lead 13 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I've been really surprised. I really thought Olaf was going to win that lane, but I guess he just couldn't get that harass off. Because Olaf, what he was relying on was using that reckless swing and doing a lot of harass damage. But Nautilus just engages so hard, and Olaf can't do anything about it. Nautilus is sitting pretty right now with a Philo Stone, Heart of Gold, and he's working toward a Rylai.
Ping going off onto Ahri. Ahri getting the ultimate from Xerath and Nocturne, and that is going to be a dead Ahri. And right now it is full gank squad for Team Just the Usual as they are making their way around the map. They are in roaming mode, and that's one of the things that you don't. That's one of the big things you see is you see. When teams can transition to the roaming phase as a team with 4 people while the other team is still have to be in the laning phase, that's disastrous for the team that's still in the laning phase. And that could really, really spell. That's kind of how that if you want.
Look at this. Warwick has been caught out. Jeez! Warwick is taking a lot of damage. He's used the ultimate on Raging Kenny trying to lifesteal back, but nope, the ultimate from Tristana is going to finish him off.
Wow.
Warwick getting caught out of position, taking raids. To say that he got caught out of position while taking his own raids, that is bad news for Mystic, I believe they are.
Pings are going off down towards the red area of Team Mystic right now. And just the usual, there's Xerath in a bad position. Xerath right now coming into 3 different people. He is not afraid, though, as he lays down his Arcano Pulse. And they're going to back out of there. But Xerath just able to take a good amount of damage. Vayne just isn't doing much right now. Not taking a lot out of the life of any of the other players for just the usual.
Yeah, you know you're in a bad place when Xerath can fight you point blank. So yeah, red buff did go. Oh wow, Xerath almost got caught out of position there. Was able to throw out the stun onto Ahri. The charm may have hit, but it wasn't going to be enough. Yeah, Xerath right now he's sitting at 112 ability power. But he's picked up a Rod of Ages. I guess he's expecting to be doing a lot of like sort of face-to-face fighting. And that doesn't surprise me that he picked up Rod of Ages for that durability. Because, like I was saying, it's a very in-your-face team. Yeah,
and to have the ability to land your ultimate as Xerath, the amount of AoE, to be able to have a little bit more control over it up close is just so powerful. And Olaf coming in, lays down his true damage onto Nautilus. But to have that ability to be in close with Xerath is just, it's nice. It's nice to have that. It's nice to have that health, nice to have that mana. We see Nocturne starting to come in. Olaf does know that he's there. He does have his a ward up in the area. He does get hit by the Duskbringer. Damage off onto Olaf. Olaf is going to have to waste his ultimate to get out of there, and Nocturne is going to be in the area. However, Tristana picking up a kill onto Vayne, and it might just be bottom tower as well for Team Just the Usual.
Just the Usual loves their early game compositions, and even though Tristana is generally considered a late game champion because of her passive, her early game is really strong as well. She has great burst damage with Buster Shot, with Rocket Jump, with Explosive Shot. Just all 3 of those abilities are great bursts.
Oh, Nocturne right now is just doing some big time burst onto Warwick, and Warwick is not going to stand a chance as Leona comes in, laying down her Zenith Blade to grab the stun and a quick Daybringer. Oh, and then also falling. Wow, excuse me, not falling. Xerath just fell to Ahri, and maybe that's the reason why he grabbed the health onto Xerath is to prevent stuff like that.
Yeah, he's getting really aggressive right now. Probably a little bit too much aggression, and he finally paid for it. He's probably going to be playing a little bit more defensively. Wow, Leona is jumping on the 3 of them right now. It's just Tristana and Leona. They are still going for it. I don't know why. This is looking really bad. Tristana has been exhausted, and now Leona and Tristana are both trying to get out. No, Tristana jumps in and ults Vayne out, and now she's at 177 health. She is running for her life. Zenith Blade barely missing, tickling her cloak there.
Yeah, this is a bad idea to go back in and fight this for Just the Usual right now. Even though they did almost have the kill on Vayne, back out. This is what killed your Xerath. You need to go back, buy your items, keep snowballing, and keep fighting. I think Just the Usual is getting a little bit cocky, like you were saying. They do have a 10k gold advantage. Use that. Use that 10k gold advantage. Go back, buy your items, come back and fight again under your terms.
Tristana and Leona just fought a 2v3 and almost killed one of them without getting close to losing either of them.
Right.
That is huge. Tristana has 6 kills right now. Infinity Edge. Oh my gosh. It looks like Nautilus uses ultimate top. Nocturne missing his Q, but it looks like it's not really going to matter because that damage is huge. They're just going to get out of there. Warwick doesn't even want a piece of that. Even with Ahri coming. No, it looks like they're coming now. Pawn Gypsy is taking a lot of damage from tower, leaving Nocturne all alone. Looks like he's just running for his life right now. He's been ulted by Warwick. The damage from Ahri is good. Warwick picking up that kill with that last hungering strike.
Nocturne was really hoping to get his flash off there. He did have it up, but it just was not enough, and he took a good amount of damage, and we're starting to see a little bit of pushback from Team Mystic. Oh, there goes the ultimate from Leona onto Janna, getting slowed, but it's going to back out of there pretty fine. I think this mid tower might just fall. We're going to see a bit of a push on it. The shield off onto the turret. However, Tristana right now is super fed. In fact, Tristana right now is 6-0-2. She's got her Infinity Edge. She's got a Zeal, 2 Doran's Blade, and she has 150 CS. And we're not even 20 minutes into the game. This Tristana is by definition fed.
Yeah, this is... I cannot see Mystic coming back from this at all. It was laning phase that really was going to decide this. And right now, just the usual, one every single lane. I had, like, even while the other 2 lanes were getting dominated, I had hope for Olaf. But Nautilus has been such a boss in lane.
Yeah, Nautilus is doing just a great job. And kind of looking at his items, we were talking about wondering which way he would go with it. He picked up a quick Heart of Gold, Philo Stone, but then also a Raylays. Now, Ari is in the area. This could be a dangerous place for Nautilus to be in right now. Olaf is up at top lane, and they do not have a ward in that brush. Nautilus is just going to back out of there, which is probably a smart idea, considering the rest of his team is down by their blue buff, and also taking Dragon right now. But right now, just the usual, doing what they do best, and this is what they need to do. Get the map control. Go ahead, ward up the map, put it in the right places, set yourself up for the right team fights, and get ready to take those team fights strong.
Yeah, this is just the usual, doing exactly what they do. They love their wards, and they have complete map control right now. They just love map control. They love taking towers as fast as they can. They love planting wards everywhere so they can see all the buffs wherever the enemy team is. They're going to be right there with one more person.
So kind of interesting, ever since Xerath bought his Rod of Ages, he has not been farming too well because of how much he's been roaming. He only has picked up a Blasting Wand since then. Just a little bit of a note. I mean, he isn't obviously doing bad. Oh, and then we have Leona up on top. The ultimate from Leona. Ari is exhausted right now. Not Warwick taking the most damage out of all of it. Tristana is going to be able to pick up the kill onto Warwick. Nocturne taking a lot of damage. The charm thrown out from Ari is not enough to pick up anybody. And that'll be a 1-for-0 exchange. Nautilus starting to make his way in, and I wonder if they're going to make an effort to push here, especially with the 4v5 situation that they have.
Yeah, at this point they could even Baron if they wanted to. I think that might be the safer option.
And I think Leona, Leona and Nocturne are definitely making their way towards it. You see the ping starting to go off. They're going to clear out a couple of the wards in the area, and they also have the area warded. Like we were saying, the ward coverage right now from Just the Usual is great. They've got a ward here, they've got a ward at blue buff, they've got a ward coming into the entrance. They know if Team Mystic is going to contest that Baron at all, but I'm a little bit surprised. I would have figured they would have gone for Baron right after that kill, but obviously they didn't.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake on their part. They either should have shifted top and taken top tower, shifted top and take top tower and then taken Baron, or just taken Baron. That probably would have been the safest bet, but I guess they really didn't want to get jumped on.
Well, right now they certainly are keeping up with the gold advantage. They've got almost a 13k gold advantage. Just to kind of give you a little taste of what that means, Nautilus right now is 7.7k compared to the 4.4k gold on Olaf. That is almost a 3,000 gold advantage. That's almost an entire Rayleigh Scepter in itself. That's massive. Also, you've got Tristana, who's got almost 9,000 gold compared to Vayne's 4,000. Again, I don't need to explain just how big that is, and it looks like right now Just the Usual is setting up to take this top tower, and I think Olaf knows. Olaf is like, yeah, I'm out of here. No way I'm going to contest that, but we do see the rest of the team starting to set up and get ready here.
Yeah, Leona's coming around the side. I'm betting that she wants to find a Zenith Blade. Oh no, it looks like she's found Warwick out of position, and the rest of Just the Usual almost jumps on it. Warwick's just going to run out of there, going to be just fine. Look at that burst damage from Xerath. He's just going to be able to harass them down. If this comes down to a tower siege, which it looks like is what they want, Xerath is going to be able to harass them down. That blue buff is about to time out, though.
Even if it times out, though, it should be enough to give him enough damage during the team fight. You do see him start to root himself down. There goes the attacks onto the tower. You don't see anybody trying to attack anybody, so it looks like right now Mystic is going to go ahead and give up that tower and let them push it. And you see ping starting to go off. It looks like they might try to go for Baron. Maybe that was the reason. That was probably the reason why they didn't go for Baron right away, is they wanted to take out that top tower first, so they had a little bit more map control on their side. Oh, and then Ari lays the charm off. There goes the Zenith Blade from Leona. Big ultimates coming out from Leona and Nocturne. Xerath picks up the kill onto Ari. Nocturne is just laying, or excuse me, Xerath is laying Arcano Pulse after Arcano Pulse. Tristana picks up a kill on Warwick, and that will be a 2-for-0 exchange. And I have to imagine this time they are going to go for Baron and really kind of propel themselves. They have almost a 15k gold advantage right now.
Yeah, the big threat on Mystic right now is Ari, but with Ari out of the picture, there's just nothing. Ari was the only one that really did decently in her lane. Everyone else completely lost. Wow, this Baron is going down so fast. 24 minutes, and look how fast they're taking it.
Yeah.
They have been farming champions this game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at the scores right now. Ari 2-4-1, Warwick 1-5-1, Vayne 0-3-0. You got an 0-4 Olaf right now, 0-1-2 Janna. Whereas with right now Team Just the Usual, Nocturne 3-1-4, Tristana right now obviously leading in kills 8-0-2, a 1-1-5 Leona, Nautilus 2-0-4, just doing a great job up top against Olaf, and the 3-1-6 Xerath as well. I mean, to say that they've been farming champions is a bit of a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, look at this. Tristana, still no life steal. She is so confident in herself. She has Doran's Blade that's only going to be giving her 6% life steal. But oh wow, they missed that Zenith Blade.
Well, they only have
I can't
two.
believe they wanted to engage a 2v5.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they want to try to engage that. I do know that those are your two tankiest champions, and right now Nautilus does have his needlessly large rod, so he does have over 200 AP. Oh, and there goes the root onto Ari, the ultimate as well. You see the ultimate from Leona, and they're just going to back out of there, maybe pushing their luck just a little too much there. As Xerath and also Nocturne aren't anywhere in the vicinity. By the way, while we were talking, Xerath did pick up his death cap, so that means even more damage, more AoE coming out from the back lines, and that's just going to continue to propel them.
Yeah, we see AP Nautilus here. That's not something you usually see. But still, I've heard whisperings of it from the pro players. They've been talking about AP Nautilus. His AP ratios are really strong. And just everything has a pretty darn good AP ratio. His ultimate, of course, doing a lot. Has better than 1.0. Wow, Xerath laying down a massive amount of pain with that Arcane Barrage. He is a powerhouse right now.
Tristana right now doing a little bit of job. Wow, onto Ari. She does get charmed, and she's going to have to rocket jump out of there. But look at the amount of damage she's able to do onto Ari, just dodging the skill shots one after another. We're going to see this bottom lane fall to the to Team Just the Usual right now. And there goes Xerath laying down an Arcano Pulse. Right now, Warwick just does not have a lot of health. There goes the ultimate from Nautilus onto Warwick. Olaf is going to fall to Tristana. Ari does pick up a kill in the fray onto Leona, but the Nocturne ult in onto Vayne. There goes the fear. The flash in from Nocturne. He wanted that kill so bad. And it looks like they're going to push out this lane. This might be GG here if they can push out these two turrets fast enough. It is right now 4v2. Yeah,
this is... I'm probably going to say this is GG. Wow, look at that burst damage on Janna. Is he going to be able to kill... I cannot believe that Tristana has that much burst right now. Usually you only see that sort of burst from an AP Tristana. But she's just got so much power. That ultimate of hers is doing 557 damage, only has an AP ratio. But, let's see, actually, wait a minute, where's she getting that AP from? I guess, yeah, she's getting it from Will of the Ancients? Where is it? How does Tristana have AP? She has 38 AP right now. Is that just from Masteries and Runes? Is she running AP Masteries and Runes?
That would be interesting. I don't know.
That's
yeah,
great.
Must be. I mean, that might be per level AP. That's that gives you that little bit of extra burst, though. I mean, that's strong. I guess I could see that being possible. AP Tristana does a lot of burst, so I guess why not?
We've seen her burst doing some really strong work, and suddenly it's all coming together and makes sense. Wow. Oh my gosh, she picked up a Thorn Mail. Tristana has a Thornmail.
Tristana with a Thornmail, very surprising, but at the same token, I guess not so much. And Vayne is going to pick up a Black Cleaver. Good pickup from Vayne. Going to give you that little bit of extra armor penetration. Nautilus is just kind of sitting in the area. Even though he's building AP, he is so tanky right now with his Heart of Gold and also Relays. He does have 80 armor, 90 magic resistance, which isn't, I mean, a whole lot when it comes to late game, but it's enough to make you tanky enough with a certain amount of health. And so right now, why not have him line up on the front lines? He's probably a little bit more tanky. Yeah, he's even more tanky than Leona right now, but Leona at this point isn't supposed to be tanky. You want her to be able to lay down the stuns and be a little bit mobile. So it's a good call on grabbing the Shirley's right away.
Wow, just look at that Nautilus. That shield really doing work. He hasn't... Yep, he finally takes a tiny bit of damage. That shield is really good. Yep. Leona and Tristana have shifted top and are just ripping through it. There goes the inhibitor, it looks like. Arya's been jumped on by Nocturne, and she is taking a lot of damage. Dredgeline goes out and bursts her down, but she's still going to survive this. No deaths so far, but Olaf... Oh my gosh, yep, here comes Tristana! It's just barely not enough to take out Vayne. Nobody has died yet, but it looks like this is going to be GG anyway, unless there is something that Mystic can do. They've jumped on it. No, Leona has used her Zenith Blade. That is a passive on everyone. So much damage coming out from Tristana, from Nocturne, and then the auto attacks from Nautilus is just going to finish off the Nexus. That's it, GG. Just the usual, completely stomping early game and using that momentum to carry them on through late game.
Well,
fantastic play.
Yeah, another GG for Team Just the Usual, the reigning champions of League Monthly. They won February, and they are currently making their way through. They just got into the semifinals with that win over Team Mystic. So we're looking forward to seeing them play when it comes to the semifinals, which are going to be starting at 4 o'clock Central Time, which is actually coming up pretty fast.
Alrighty, wow, that was just outplayed in every lane. I mean,